What's up guys, and welcome to a new vlog. So if you guys haven't noticed by the title already, this is not going to be a regular family vlog or anything. This is actually going to be discussing what is GAD, which is Generalized Anxiety Disorder. So let's go and get into it. You have to have tons of reassurance. Like every day you have to have reassurance in life. Everything's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be alright. You worry about your what ifs. Well, what if this happens? Well, what if this happens? Like your mind's constantly going, and it's like you're constantly wondering what people are thinking of you, or how do you feel that day, or it's like, am I even good enough? That's another one. Am I good enough? You always feel like you're just so much lower than everybody else. In reality, you're not. But to yourself, you always feel like nothing is going to be good enough for anybody. You're always going to wonder about what do they think. Okay? Or is it my fault? Like, if something happened, is it my fault? If global warming happened, you think it's our fault? Hold on, my dog has to come in. So, say if somebody got in a car wreck and they're on the way to your house, you would think, oh my gosh, that was my fault. If I wouldn't have asked them to come over, they would not have gotten into this car wreck. And that's always on my mind. I mean, if something ever happens to a friend and they're on my way over, I always automatically think it's my fault. And I shouldn't feel that way. But that's what anxiety does, that's just how it feels, that we always think that it's our fault. To get to the basics, the most common type of anxiety is generalized anxiety. Point blank, it is. Doctors have said it's scientifically proven, come here, that that is number one. Anxiety normally develops when you're an adolescent. So when you're either going through puberty or your body is changing, it happens when all of those are changing. So I found my dog. Good thing about GAD is it is treatable. You can get it treatable. Is it curable? No, but you can treat it, okay? It can be treatable with counseling, CBT sessions, and also some people decide to medicate. In my situation, I decided to medicate. After 6 years of being diagnosed, I decided it was time to medicate. I tried to stay away from it. I did oils, I did self-therapy, I mean, I did all that stuff. To me, it just didn't work like I wanted it to, so I decided to medicate. Your childhood. Anxiety is also linked to depression. A lot of people that also have PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD is also linked with anxiety. So a lot of people that have PTSD will have anxiety. So guys, I have all my notes here. As you can see, my mind scrambles and I'll jump from one thing to another. So I have to write everything down. So if I'm looking down a little bit, that's why. With me, I also suffer from PTSD. I did have some depression. I've learned how to control that and try to cope with that. It's not as bad. Certain times throughout the year it gets worse than others. So that's why I have my anxiety. I was also diagnosed 2012 with PTSD and anxiety. So you do also have those triggers that trigger it. That will be in a whole nother video. So for me, an attack feels like for me is my heartbeat starts racing, just out of crazy. You get those heart palpitations, you get sweaty hands, you get nervous, you feel nauseous, you get dizzy, you get headache. I mean, your body starts to tense up. A lot of times I don't realize I'm into a panic attack until it's a full-blown panic attack. Like, my hands are already sweaty, and then you start getting very irritable. So the irritability is when that happens, like right away, I'm like, okay, I'm having a panic attack. Sometimes I will take my medication before I go into a panicky situation, so that way it doesn't happen. For instance, I don't like to be in big crowds. I hate big crowds. I don't like to be the center of attention. So when friends were to ask me out and be like, hey, do you want to go here to the mall or something, especially like in peak time, I'll be like, no, it's okay. It's not that I don't want to go. I really do want to go, and I want to hang out, but I already know it's going to throw me into a panic situation. It's happened many times with friends, and they're just like, well, what's wrong with you? You know, it's like, I'm like, just leave me alone, I just want to be alone. So they don't quite understand how to deal with it, or they'll start laughing at me. When somebody laughs at me, let me tell you, it throws me into a panic attack. I don't like to be made fun of, and I don't like to be laughed at. How has it affected my life living with anxiety? Well, it sleeps affects your sleep patterns dramatically. A lot of times I get insomnia. Insomnia is huge with anxiety. I will go to sleep like around 10:30 sometimes, and I'll wake up out of nowhere around 12:30. Always happens around 12:30, 1 o'clock. I wake up non-stop. I will be up for about 3-4 hours, go back to bed around 4, wake up at 6. Now I didn't have much sleep, so if you average that, I probably had maybe 4 hours of sleep. A lot of times I'll just toss and turn in the bed. I'll just lay there wide open and just have all these thoughts going around. Okay, what am I going to do tomorrow? What time do I have to wake up tomorrow? What's going to happen? Are the kids going to wake up on time? How am I going to wake up my daughter because she never wants to wake up? So all these thoughts and everything are going through my mind, and I'm just, you know, I'll just sit there, or I'll think about next week, like what am I going to do? What's for dinner next week? Or what does my plans look like for next week? Or especially when I have like a big trip coming up. I mean, everyone's gonna say, okay, well, we always think about our big trips coming up. But when you have anxiety, it's even 10 times worse. You don't get no sleep. Like when I went out to Texas not too long ago, for instance, I didn't get no sleep. Okay, I knew I was gonna have to be at the airport by 5 o'clock or whatever it was. So leave 3 hours before. No, I wanted to leave like 5 hours before. Got maybe an hour of sleep because I was so afraid I was going to miss that alarm clock and get there. Once I got there and I was on a plane and everything, the anxiety just really kicked in. Like, I mean, once I pulled into the airport, the anxiety just kicked in. Again, you see I'm getting scrambled brain, I'm thinking about all this other stuff. The thing is, you're not wanting to hang out with friends because you always feel like, is my clothes the right thing? What's she wearing? Am I wearing the right thing? Are they thinking about, oh, that doesn't look okay, or that doesn't look good? You always worry about, are your clothes fine? Do they look okay? One day they may look good. The next day you're like, I'm never wearing this again because somebody gave me a dirty look. You always think that people are staring at you constantly. Like, it feels like the whole world is just caving in like this. And that can just be normal. It doesn't even have to be anxiety. Your anxiety's coming in, but you always feel that way. You always feel like someone is looking at you and just feeling that you're center of attention when you shouldn't be. There'll be times where I'll just be like, why is everyone looking at me? Is there something on my clothes? There's something on my back? Do I have a stick around me? Do I got food on me or something, you know, for the kids? And it's just so hard, you guys, to be out in public and to worry about, okay, does my clothes look okay? Does my makeup look okay? Even put makeup on, does it still gonna make me look pretty, or does it not make me look pretty? Like, sometimes I'll start putting makeup on and I'll just take it off because I just feel like it doesn't matter how much makeup I put on, I'm never gonna be pretty. I'm never gonna be attractive to anybody. Again, that comes into, am I good enough? A couple of tips to deal with your anxiety would be, which I had found helpful, was write it down. If something is bothering you, write it down. Because you may go back to it and be like, that wasn't even a big thing to have anxiety over. And then you can think about how to work through that yourself. Again, yoga works wonderful. Going outside, just stretching, or playing relaxful music, which is something that's in this video, like the music that's playing, tranquility music. For me, taking off and going to the mountains, that is a huge anxiety reliever. It doesn't matter if it's loud. For some reason, it doesn't matter if there's kids out there playing or there's people talking. Just having that smell of that fresh air and just seeing like the scenery, it's so calming. Like, think about it, it's just like making me calm. It's just like, I just want to smell it again, and it just feels so good to be out in the mountains. Also, talking to somebody that has the same issue, that has helped so much. Just talking to somebody that goes through it can, you know, because they understand. It's not like someone is judging you. So if you don't have a friend that has that, join groups. Get on Twitter. There's tons of Twitter groups and stuff that you can get into, or like you can find people that have the same thing. Facebook groups. There's everything out there, you guys. There's so many things. Look on YouTube. A lot of people are going through the same thing. You're not alone, and that's another thing too. You always feel alone. You're not alone. You're really not. Another thing that I have helped is ice water, which I need some because I got really dry mouth talking. But ice water has truly helped a lot. just kind of keeps my body temperature down so I'm not sweaty or I'm not feeling overheated. Once I get overheated, I do feel like that triggers my anxiety. So finding out what are your triggers, that's gonna help. That's going to be in another video. This is just pretty much living with anxiety, how has it affected me, what has happened, and all that stuff. So I hope you guys, I hope you guys have found that useful, and I hope that you guys look forward to more of these videos. I don't know exactly when I'll be posting each anxiety video. I know I'm gonna start doing it at least once a week to give some helpful tips. By all means, I'm not a doctor, so of course I'm not a doctor. I'm a YouTuber. What has helped for me may not help for you. Do not turn on medication because it worked for me. I know a lot of people that never has taken medication, and personal things have worked for them. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I hope to see you guys next time on our next anxiety vlog. Also, if you haven't already, go ahead and follow this channel, subscribe, smash that like button. Let's leave some comments down below. Let's get conversations going. I want to know what works for you, what don't work for you. If you found this video helpful or not, go ahead and comment that down below. Also, click the bell notification right here, and so you guys can get our next recent updates. I would love for you guys to follow me and my family. This is a family channel, so this is a little bit different than my regular videos I make. But if you guys would like to follow us, go ahead and subscribe. Also subscribe because you love me and you want to see more of me. So alright, that's it for this vlog. Bye guys!